What's up, everyone? So, these Disney remakes, or sequels, prequels, they're in the same category. Taking the loved, magical animated classics and sucking all said magic out of them and leaving us with something so dry. Except for Christopher Robin. That is a good one. This trend has been going on for a long time, and I think it's safe to say we can predict what the next movie's gonna be like. So I figure, let's look at the cliches of these remakes. And along the way, we'll predict what the upcoming Little Mermaid remake will be like.
Come on, it'll be fun!
By the way, I'm talking about the cliches of the remakes, not modern Disney in general. So I won't be going over overuse of CGI. Alright, let's get this started. Number 1. Super realism. Being live action means everything has to be lifelike, and some shots are pleasing to the eye, but it comes at the cost of motion. There are things in animation that live action can never top. A part of me thinks we've taken for granted how Tom and Jerry-esque the old Disney movies are. You ever think about the King and Cinderella? When he hears upsetting news about his son's dream woman leaving the ball, he's not happy about it.
No, sire! No! Sabotage!
The actors in the remakes are subdued most of the time. Zero energy compared to their animated counterparts. And the musical numbers in Lion King, they explode with color and fun. In the corresponding remake, it's just nature landscape and animals running. Nothing special. And speaking of Lion King, let's address the stiff elephant in the room. The characters have zero facial expressions. If you watch the movie without audio, you would have no idea what they're feeling. Everything has to be so ultra photorealistic. But there's a line. I didn't feel anything watching this. In the animated movie, that still gets to me. Oh, and the giant Mufasa cloud? Omitted in the remake. Because realism. The kind of realism that made 98 Godzilla void of the atomic breath. They couldn't give us a CGI Mufasa cloud? And the castle staff in Beauty and the Beast? Yeah, they are hard to look at. I get it, realistic, but I would not live there if they looked like that. In the Little Mermaid remake, Flounder will be a realistic looking fish with a child's voice coming out of it. That'll be terrifying. Sebastian will look like this, and Chef Louis will be less of this.
Pull out what's inside and I'll serve it up. I've got a love little fishes, don't you?
And more of this. Maybe he'll be like this.
Did you go to school? Yes, chef. If you don't know anything, plain salad? Yes, chef.
Oh my god!
Plain salad!
That would be pretty funny. Number 2. Long runtime. The average runtime of these movies could range from 100-ish minutes to 134. Why do these movies have to be so long? Maybe there's this imagined mandate that a movie can only be professional and mature as if it's 2 hours long. These are nothing like those cutesy, stupid animated movies that are only 80 minutes long. They're for babies. What's wrong with a movie being 80 or 90 minutes long? You've got everything there and the journey didn't drag on. That is, however, the case for the remakes. These drag on. When I watch these, I feel like I'm wasting my time. They're not even long for good reasons, which we'll get to later. The Little Mermaid remake is likely going to be around 2 hours long, and there may likely be scenes of filler. Well, I guess there is a lot going on under the sea. Number 3. Bonus songs. Since the movie's long, might as well put a few songs in there. Something I do appreciate about these is that some of these are solo songs for characters that didn't really get songs all on their own. Jasmine got one. Beast got one.
Leave me.
Even the coachman from Pinocchio got one. You could say this is the most positive cliche of the remakes. Okay, what bonus songs are we expecting in the Little Mermaid remake? Maybe Eric will sing about his mystical dream woman who saved him while he's on the shore. Or King Triton will sing about how sad he is for breaking all of Ariel's stuff. He never got to sing in that movie. Maybe he has a secret passion for singing. Number 4. Pointless tragic backstories. They keep giving the characters these tragic backstories that don't amount to anything. They don't matter. Did we really need to know that Belle's mom died of the Black Plague? Or that Geppetto made Pinocchio out of mourning for his dead son? Or that lions and hyenas have been at war for centuries? None of this is relevant. The movies practically end the same way as their animated counterparts. They're not important. If you took these tragic backstories out, nothing would change. Here's what I think they'll do in Little Mermaid. Let's say Ariel had an older brother, Ario, and Ario was killed by fishermen. Maybe the fisherman was Eric's dad, and this is why Triton hates the surface world. And by the end, Ario is never mentioned again. Everyone forgot about this since we're redoing the ending of the animated movie. Ugh, poor Ario. Number 5. Make them darker and more mature, but don't. Ironically, the longer and more adult movies are nowhere near as mature as the animated ones. These remakes, they don't have
Chutzpah.
Dumbo never gets drunk, Pinocchio doesn't smoke or drink. I get it. You can't show kids smoking and drinking. In the classic Pinocchio, you have these boys drinking, smoking, wrecking the place, and they transform into literal jackasses. There are consequences. The movie was warning kids not to be like that. In the remake, they drink root beer. Why even remake Pinocchio if you're not gonna do the message right? Oh, and the movies that star quote-unquote villains. They don't do anything bad, and if they do, they regret it and do everything they can to fix it. Like I said in an older video, 3 ways villains later become good guys. If a villain is very popular, chances are high they'll be heroes later. Maybe in another universe where they'll have a new, sympathetic backstory. Maleficent becomes Aurora's fairy godmother, and Cruella would never in a million years make coats out of puppies. They're clear-cut good guys. The remakes are way more tame and soft compared to the animated movies that were so much more daring. In The Little Mermaid remake, the mermaids who made deals with Ursula but don't hold up their end of the bargain, they might not turn into these lowly, creepy-looking life forms. Instead, they'll be in bubbles. Safe bubbles somewhere in Ursula's lair. Don't worry, they won't look unnerving and they won't grab Ariel like they're saying, "Please help me!" We can't scare the kids. Number 6. Butchered or removed songs. Ah, those memorable songs. Let's make sucky versions of them. No wait, let's not use them. And sometimes, we'll just say the lyrics as regular dialogue. In Lion King, when Scar sang "Be Prepared," you got these green geysers shooting up and lava's erupting, and it looks so scary and cool. In the remake, it's plain landscape and Scar is kinda singing "Be Prepared." It's lame! In the Mulan remake, one of the higher-ups is saying, "I'll make men out of you." Boo! In Little Mermaid remake, we know part of your world will be in it. It's in the teaser. So maybe Sebastian will persuade Ariel to stay under the sea, not by singing, by saying a poem. Ariel, listen. The seaweed is always greener in somebody else's lake. You dream about going up there, but that is a big mistake. So much better. If they are gonna sing, they might change up the lyrics.
The sea plants are always brighter, cause they fertilize with shit. A land not constrained by toilets, now that really is the pits.
Number 7. Make it rain. Disney pours a ton of money into these remakes out of compensation. They over-design everything. Even things that shouldn't look so glamorous, like the magic lamp. It looks too much like treasure. The point of the lamp was to not look extraordinary. It's like Aladdin. On the surface, Aladdin's a street rat, but inside, that's where the real gold is. So the magic lamp, it looks like an ordinary lamp, but inside is the genie with all his phenomenal cosmic power. In the remake, the lamp is way too pretty. And the blue fairy in Pinocchio, it's just... They didn't need After Effects this much. Look at her dress. It's puking glitter. And why does she have so many wings? 2 or 4 are enough. This reminds me of that South Park episode, Free Hat, when they were spoofing Star Wars getting digitally remastered versions. So Trey Parker and Matt Stone, they did a fake ad for that with their first South Park episode.
The simple, funny aliens are now super badass and cool. The flying saucer, no longer cheap construction paper, but a 40 megapixel non-drop digital masterpiece of technology. Yes, everything's new. New is better.
When we first made South Park, we didn't want to use construction paper, we just had to because it was cheap.
And now with new technology, we can finally remaster South Park to make it look sharp, clean, and focused.
And expensive.
In the Little Mermaid remake, King Triton's trident, it'll have rubies stuck all over it and 6 more prongs, I don't know. Number 8. More. These remakes try to outdo their animated counterparts in every minor way. The way these remakes see it, the original versions, they're not good enough. Animated Belle, she's a geek, an introvert who spends her time reading. Her just being herself helped change the beast. Remake Belle tries to be more like Leonardo da Vinci. She invented the washing machine, which doesn't go anywhere. It's never brought up again. And anytime when she's supposed to be scared or worried, it's toned down. With Animated Belle, when she's sad or frightened, we feel for her. That helps us relate to her. We want her to get out of there. We want her to be safe. With Remake Belle, we know she'll be okay. She doesn't seem worried. Oh, and the curse placed on Beast and the servants. Alright, so in the animated movie, if Beast doesn't fall in love and be loved in return before the last petal falls, then he'll be a beast forever, and the servants will be objects forever. But living objects. In the remake, when their time's up, then the servants become inanimate objects. And the castle is slowly crumbling the whole time. And the enchantress erased the memories of all the villagers so they don't remember the prince. Why? Enough already!
It's just what I remember. I do.
That's it. Remember, son. Remember.
And that Mulan remake. Oh, they went above and beyond for this one. So animated Mulan, she's a kid who had to learn how to fight like everyone else. She wasn't born with this innate ability to surpass everyone. She went through that training montage like the other guys did. And what gave her an advantage is her ingenuity. She's a quick thinker, she's brilliant. Remake Mulan though, she's Jiren, this perfect stone-faced fighter who never panics. She can kick arrows and send them flying hundreds of miles an hour. She can make avalanches by vibrating the ground. Her objective isn't to learn how to fight, it's to stop concealing herself because of what her dad said to her as a little kid. Mulan, you're too awesome! You must never use your power in any way. There's no moment of tension or suspense since we know she's gonna win, and win easily. I'm guessing in the Little Mermaid remake, Ariel will be on par with Aquaman. That shark in the beginning, Glut, she'll kill him. She'll grab some wooden debris and stab him, and she won't be scared. At all. And she will kill Ursula. The way Eric killed her in Kingdom Hearts 2, that'll be Ariel doing it. Number 9. Beloved characters. Done wrong. I really feel bad for the characters who aren't that popular. That Maleficent movie, it feels so cynical. The super popular Maleficent is not only the hero, but she's Aurora's mother figure. That was the role of the three good fairies, Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. These three were the heroes of Sleeping Beauty. These three were Aurora's mother figures. They raised her and loved her like their own. They fought alongside Philip to beat Maleficent. It was a battle of good versus evil. Maleficent's flames and deathly powers against rainbows, flowers, bubbles, good versus evil. And these three were very likable, but not too perfect. I love seeing Flora and Merryweather get in their color fights, and these two were a little salty to each other.
It looks awful. That's because it's on you, dear.
In the Maleficent movie, I hate these three. To make Maleficent look good, the three were written as argumentative and incompetent. They couldn't raise a child because they're too busy fighting each other. And I guess they didn't get it as bad as King Stefan. Aurora's dad in the animated movie, he's not a bad guy. And he's a fun drinking buddy. Isn't that right, Lou Player? He gets it. Live-action Stefan is treacherous and self-serving. I mean, who cares about that unpopular side character? Screw him! And some characters in these movies, they're completely removed. Timothy Q. Mouse, Dumbo's best friend, the guy who tried to lift his spirits. The guy who was with them every step of the way, through good times and bad. Not in the remake. Sure, a reference is there, but he's really not in it. Well, why have him there when we can have two super bland kids to replace him? Shang and Mushu? Not in the remake. The grandma's not even in it. She was funny.
Woo! Sign me up for the next war.
So, what side character in Little Mermaid can we botch in the remake? Aha! Grimsby! F Grimsby! I'm guessing Grimsby will be a secondary antagonist. He'll strike a deal with Ursula, making sure Eric and Ariel never kiss, and she'll supply him with Atlantica tech like an Aquaman, I don't know. And he'll make his own Black Manta suit. Call me Black Manta. Well, before the remake shits on Grimsby, I'll be the first to defend him. He always wanted the best for Eric, meeting a nice girl, settling down, and having a family. Also, he was helping Ariel. Eric has been hanging with Mew Ariel for a little while, and they were forming a connection, but his heart's still set on that dream woman who saved him, and Grimsby gave him some really good advice.
Far better than any dream girl is one of flesh and blood, one warm and caring, and right before your eyes.
Robin's better than the girl of my dreams. She's real.
And number 10, missing the point. These remakes don't understand the animated classics.
Papa, do you think I'm odd?
My daughter? Odd? Where would you get an idea like that?
Papa, do you think I'm odd?
Odd? My daughter? Odd? Where did you get an idea like that?
The identity of these movies have been stripped away in place of something safe. Alice in Wonderland is a goofy filler story. Yeah, not much is accomplished, but it was fun. The remake is a mad war movie where Alice kills a dragon. Remake Pinocchio is already a perfect, well-behaved child who would never do anything naughty. Animated Pinocchio is more like a real boy because he's not perfect. He's a naive kid who gets roped up into making mistakes. We can all see ourselves in him. And the Beast in the Beauty and the Beast remake. I've been saving this for last. Beauty and the Beast of animated Beauty and the Beast, it was Beast's journey. going from a monster to a human. Early in the movie, Beast is monstrous. He walks on all fours, he growls, he yells, he's impatient, and he wears ragged clothes. Later in the movie, after spending enough time with Belle, there's a change in him. He walks on his two hind legs, he's more patient, he talks like a gentleman, and he puts Belle's needs before his own. There's development there. Remake Beast sucks. For one, he already walks on his two legs, so that part of development has been thrown out of the window. They couldn't get the motion capture actor to get down on all fours. Wow, that sounded dirty. And he is always unlikable. He never gave Belle a room. In fact, he yelled at the staff for giving her one. When Animated Beast shows Belle the library, it was a sweet moment. He knows she loves reading, so here's a giant library. Knock yourself out. Remake Beast shows her the library because there are way better books to read than Romeo and Juliet. Ugh, you're so stupid, Bill. How come that's your favorite? You've got no taste. You suck. I never bought for a second that these two fell in love. Zero chemistry. So where will the Little Mermaid remake miss the mark? After rewatching animated Little Mermaid, there's something I hadn't noticed before. Ariel and Sebastian's growing friendship. At first, these two, they aren't friends. But when Ariel temporarily becomes human, Sebastian finally gets her. He does what he can to make sure Ariel and Eric get together. By the end, these two are friends. I'm guessing in the remake, these two never become friends. They argue, and when Ariel becomes human, Sebastian just goes along with it. Alright, fine, Ariel, I'll help you. For some reason, but you're still in big trouble, young lady, and I still hate that you love human stuff, and I will never change my mind. Overall, the movie will likely be underwhelming, but it could also make Lion King 2019 money. Well, those are my thoughts on the Disney remake cliches. Did I miss any cliches? Comment below. Let's keep this conversation going. Thanks for watching. Till next time.
Ha ha! We got him!